चलिए आपको एक कहानी सुनाते हैं। एक लड़की है जिसकी उम्र है 26 साल। उसका जन्म होता है दुनिया के एक ऐसे शख्स के घर जिसकी अरबों की संपत्ति है। यहाँ तक कि लड़की जिस घर में रहती है केवल उसकी कीमत ही $200 मिलियन से ज्यादा है, वो भी दुनिया की प्राइम लोकेशन पर, जहाँ जाने के लोग हसरत रखते हैं। समय बीता तो लड़की खुद की पहचान बनाने निकल पड़ी। अब यहाँ से चीजें एकदम से बदलती हैं। जहाँ लड़की पहचान बनाने गई थी वहाँ उसके वजूद पर ही खतरा मंडराने लगा। एक दिन अचानक पुलिस आती है और बिना कुछ बताए उसको उठाकर ले जाती है। जहाँ कभी लड़की के हर कदम और हर आवाज पर नौकरों की लाइन लगी रहती थी, वहाँ उसे नहाने और शौच जाने तक की इजाजत नहीं मिलती। पानी, भोजन और रोजमर्रा की जरूरतों के लिए पैसों की डिमांड की जाती है। जीवन अचानक से जगमगाती दुनिया से स्याही अंधेरे में गुम हो जाता है। जब उसको पता चलता है कि उसका कसूर क्या है, तो उसके पैरों तले जमीन खिसक जाती है। उस पर आरोप लगता है कि उसने अपने पिता के कंपनी में काम करने वाले कर्मचारी की हत्या कर दी है। सलाखों के पीछे एक एक दिन सालों की तरह गुजरते हैं और फिर अचानक पता चलता है कि जिसके हत्या का आरोप उस पर है वो किसी और देश में जिंदा घूम रहा है, जिसके बाद बड़ी मशक्कत से वो जेल से बाहर आती है। अगर आप भी सोच रहे हैं कि ये कहानी किसी फिल्म की है, तो आपको बता दें कि ये कोई फेरी टेल या फिल्मी पटकथा नहीं है, बल्कि असल जिंदगी की है। ये कहानी है ऑस्ट्रेलियन स्विस बिजनेसमैन पंकज ओसवाल की बेटी वसुंधरा ओसवाल की, जो युगांडा में इथेनॉल प्रोडक्शन फर्म में करियर बनाने गई थी। लेकिन वहाँ उनको पिता के नौकर की कथित हत्या के आरोप में युगांडा की जेल में हफ्तों बिताने पड़े, जो तंजानिया में जीवित पाया गया। आइए उनकी कहानी उनकी ही जुबानी सुनते हैं।
We have with us Vasundhara Oswal, a young budding entrepreneur who actually underwent a traumatic experience just a few days ago in the country of Uganda, where she was detained for a longer duration, and it has taken quite an effort for her to attain this bail, if I'm not mistaken, Vasundhara. And now she is here with us in Mumbai to talk about that entire episode and exactly what happened to her in a country which is not hers and with very little help that she was trying to struggle and get out of this crisis. So Vasundhara, thank you so much for joining us on abplive.com. Do tell us about this whole episode. Your father is one of the known industrialists, ethnically Indian, but I believe that you guys live abroad, Mr. Pankaj Oswal. So first, explain to us what happened in Uganda, because that's what has made news about you.
Yeah, so basically I was setting up this factory for the last 4 years of my life. I started when I was 22, and we had nothing in Uganda before. So it was a completely new territory for us. We were venturing into it as a greenfield project. And we basically built this ethanol plant from scratch, and it's now employing over 400 local people and over 100 expats. All right, and it's a fully functioning unit now. But the fact is that when I came in to commission this unit, I was bombarded by the Ugandan police, and my human rights were grossly violated for at least 21 days. So how that happened was, 1st of October, I get a call from my admin manager, as I was telling you, and he tells me that there's police at the gate. So I call up my father first thing. You know, it's 5 a.m. for me, and they're in London. All right, so it's 3 hours behind for them. And he tells me, you stay put. I'm going to send the security out to go check what's going on. So the security, you know, they go out, they're probably checking. I don't hear back for a while. I also follow through. I exit my house. I go out to see what's going on. I see like a van of like maybe 4 police officers over there. And when I go and approach them, because they're standing right outside the factory road, they tell me that we can be anywhere we want. It's none of your concern.
This is the Ugandan police outside your house in Uganda.
Yes, outside the factory gate on the main road. So when I then proceed to go back inside, I tell my parents, what happened, and they're telling me, okay, this is odd. Let us try to figure out what's going on. You please go stay back in the house.
And you are saying that there was absolutely nothing, no backstory to their coming to your factory and
Nothing.
parking themselves outside right there, trying to check on you?
Yeah, they just wouldn't tell me the reason. The only thing they said to me is that we can be parked anywhere we want. It's not your concern. If someone wants to talk to you, they will talk to you. So then I exit from there, I go back inside, I tell my parents that this is what's happening. You know, as I've never experienced this before, I'm calling up my dad on the back, I'm saying, what the hell is going on? You must know something. So you must, you know, try to figure out what's going on. And he tells me to just go sit in the house. So I proceed back to go and sit in my house. And he's trying to figure out what's going on outside. While I'm sitting in my house and I'm pacing back and forth, you know, wondering what the hell is going on, what's wrong. And I'm on the phone with my mother and, you know, I'm kind of hearing my dad speak to our security guys and admin officers on the other side. I see from my front porch about 20 different men come storming in through the gate. And about 10 of them have like AK-47s with them. So I actually exit my house at that point and I go and talk to them. I'm like, why are you here? They say, we're here in regards to a missing person. And I'm like, what missing person? What is this about? And they're like, yeah, we have a notice from Interpol Switzerland in regards to a missing person in reference to your father. So I'm like, so then they say, is your father here? I say, no, my father's not here. It's only me at the moment. So then they proceed to say that then we need to search your property. I tell them that, do you have a warrant or do you have, you know, a raid kind of warrant to go in and search? And they're like, no, we don't. But you're in Uganda, you're not in Europe. So we can do whatever we want. I say, listen.
They claim to have an Interpol notice.
Yeah, they claim to have this Interpol notice that's said to investigate, which, by the way, I'll get into more detail a little bit later. So what ends up happening is I end up waiting. I tell them that, listen, you need to wait for my lawyer to come because I'm not going to let you raid the property without having at least someone legal present. At this point, you don't have any warrant to raid the property. I don't know why you're here. They wouldn't even introduce themselves to me. I asked them that, who are you? What is your designation? They were telling me, you don't need to know our designations. It's not your concern to know our designations or our names. We're from Interpol, and that's all we're going to tell you. All right? So my lawyer ends up coming, and they are still there waiting. So I tell them that, listen, if I let you do the raid, will you guys leave? And so they proceed to do the raid. Okay, I let them go. I let them do the raid. They wake up all of the employees, you know, the people that were in night shift, because we have about 200 different people sleeping on site. So they wake up all the people that are on night shift. They go banging on their doors, you know, opening up the rooms, checking under the bed, checking on top of the bed, checking inside the wardrobes, checking on top of the roof. One of them went to look inside of the roof if he could find something or someone. And they don't find anything, all right? And then after that, when I'm saying that, okay, you've not found anything, can you please leave now? They say that, no, you need to come back to Interpol with us. I say, why do I need to come back with you today? You've already disturbed my whole day, you know, from 5 a.m. to like 11 a.m. I've been with you guys.
They took you with them?
Yes, they took me with them. They basically, I was told that the Interpol director wanted to meet me, which I rejected. At first, I said, no, I'm not going to meet her right now. I can meet her tomorrow, you know, because I have not showered, I have not eaten. So you can't just, you know, grab someone and take them when you want. And
what happened after that? What happened after you were taken with them?
So after, you know, when I was being taken, there was firstly a lot of hustle on the site. Like there was a male officer that kind of picked me up and threw me inside the car, and then they sped off with me to Interpol. And then at Interpol, I was told that I had to write a statement. Otherwise, I would face indefinite detention.
Okay.
So I wrote the statement because I was hoping that they would let me go.
A statement which said what?
A statement that basically said the basic facts of what I knew of this person. You know, that I knew that he had a loan with my father. I knew that he worked with my father. I also knew that he had come in July officially to stay at the plant site, but I didn't know where he was. Because
so this was on a complaint of a certain person who had loaned money to your father?
To whom my father had loaned money to.
Your father had loaned money to him, okay.
So then what ended up happening is that instead of releasing me, at about 6 p.m. in the evening, they tell me, you're going to be detained now because you're a suspect. I said, a suspect of what? What am I a suspect of?
Yeah.
They wouldn't tell me. They're just like, you're just a suspect. You have to be detained now.
Okay.
So I get detained, and I hope you've been sent the flip book, which has the pictures of the cell I was detained in.
Okay.
In that cell for the night. And the next day, you know, my parents are very frantic. They're like, what is this that's happening, you know? The next day, I get a phone call from my father saying that we're going to try to get you a police bond now, and you're going to have to give in your passport. And they've said that we'll have to pay 30,000 USD to them. So we're being extorted at the same time now.
Okay. This 30,000 is a bribe, or is it a thing that you've paid to the government?
No, it's a bribe.
It's a bribe.
It's an extortion bribe. We were forced to pay it. Okay, because they were putting us in like a desperate situation that we have to pay for my safeguard. So basically, we pay this 30,000. I give my passport in. All right. They don't give me the police bond.
Okay.
All right. So I'm sent back to the same cell again in the evening. And then the next day, my dad's like, he's put about 10 other lawyers on the case because he's like, okay, these people are doing some sort of bullshit at this point. So let me put all of these other lawyers on it and try to get you an unconditional release order from the court system. We get the unconditional release order from the court system. All right, at this point, it's been more than 48 hours. I've been detained, which is illegal. And after we get the unconditional release order from the court system, they still don't release me.
Okay.
They keep me in detention illegally for another 72 hours.
And what's the explanation?
There's no explanation.
Okay.
There's no explanation for that. They refuse to give me a police bond. They refuse to release me on an unconditional release order. There's no explanation.
Did you seek help from the government of India at that point in time?
You know, everyone knew, but the case had been so widely blown out of proportion because this guy had gone around saying that my father's been killed, my father's been kidnapped, something bad has happened to my father, that no one wanted to intervene at all into what was happening, and no one actually wanted to properly investigate. Now, this goes into how the Ugandan authorities handled the situation, which wouldn't have been here if they had properly investigated the matter. All right. So what happened next was that on Friday, basically 5th of October, this is the first time I'm hearing what my charges are. A male officer then comes to collect me, and he says that your charges are kidnap with attempt to murder and you're going to prison right now.
Okay.
So he takes me to a lower level magistrate court in Luero, and I'm charged with kidnap with attempt to murder, and I'm basically thrown in a lower level jail at that time. Then basically I wasn't allowed to be in that jail or be sentenced by that magistrate in the first place because it's a capital offense, so you have to go to high court firstly.
Okay.
But anyways, for the weekend, I'm put in a lower level jail, and then after the weekend, I'm then shifted to Nakansongola prison where they keep higher level convicts, like murderers, rapists, human traffickers. All right, and
so you shared the cell with them?
Yes, I did.
For how many days?
For 2 weeks more.
For 2 weeks?
Yes. I was detained for a total period of 21 days.
Okay.
And during the 5 days of my detention, I didn't get any food, water, shower. They didn't allow me to shower at all. Whenever they interrogated me, they used to come at like weird times during the day and just pick me up from there. I used to say, can I have a lawyer with me? They said, no, we're not waiting for your lawyer to come. They used to just take me and put me in a room with them. And then they said, basically try to block me out from having any kind of legal support with me in all dimensions. So they broke and they violated all the human rights that I had throughout these 21 days. Even when they found the guy alive in Tanzania, which was a week after I was imprisoned. Okay. They didn't release me. Okay. They still kept those charges on me. We had a letter from the Tanzanian police as to how Mukesh was found. And in that letter, it's written that he was found with his passport. He was found with 100 USD, sitting alone in a hotel for 2 days, all right, with some of the jewelry and a watch that he stole from my...
So this was an accusation made by his family, suspecting that he was killed and killed by your family.
Yes.
And so you were charged for kidnap and murder.
Yes.
Yeah?
Exactly.
And then they found him alive.
Yes, exactly. So I got punished for something that didn't happen. All right?
Okay.
And after a while, these guys realized that, oh shit, we've made a mistake. How do we reverse it? Which is obviously the reason why they didn't want to let me out of that jail in the first place.
Okay.
So even the bail was a fight. The lawyers that they had put on my case to get the bail done, they would get bribed by the business competitors or by these police guys. They would get intimidated by them and be told basically not to show up. To get my signature for the application or not to send a car to come pick me up and take me to the court.
So what's the current status, Vasundhara? Are you out on bail or is the case completely dismissed?
No, so they withdrew the charges finally after extorting more and more money to lower level charges like misdemeanor. because they can't fully admit that they did something wrong in the first place. So they just want to keep something on in order to basically extort more money and irritate, our...
Are you moving your company out of Uganda now?
The company is functioning, so we can't really shift, a plant, a factory that's already functioning. It's already been built there. It's already been laid out. The foundation has been done.
Okay. You feel violated?
Yes, we feel violated. We feel disrespected. We feel like we came to a country to invest and to develop it, and we got spat on in a way. And I, as a young entrepreneur, feel like, that it's not a safe place for women entrepreneurs to come, especially because of the fact that it was a man that came and picked me up from the site. It wasn't even a female policewoman.
And the charges were incorrect.
And the charges were fabricated completely.
Okay.
आपको बता दें कि वसुंधरा ओसवाल भारतीय मूल के ऑस्ट्रेलियन स्विस अरबपति बिजनेसमैन पंकज ओसवाल की बेटी है, जो खुद जाने माने उद्योगपति अभय कुमार ओसवाल के बेटे हैं। वह मुख्य रूप से पेट्रोकेमिकल, उर्वरक, खनन और रियल एस्टेट सेक्टर के बड़े बिजनेसमैन हैं, जिनकी नेटवर्थ की बात करें तो करीब $3 बिलियन है, लगभग 24,700 करोड़ रुपए। पंकज ओसवाल के पास दुनिया के सबसे महंगे घरों में से एक है, जिसकी कीमत 1650 करोड़ रुपए है, जो स्विट्जरलैंड में माउंट ब्लैंक के सामने बना हुआ है, जिसका इंटीरियर डिजाइन मशहूर डिजाइनर जेफरी विलियम्स ने किया। अगर हम बात करें वसुंधरा की, तो उन्होंने स्विट्जरलैंड की स्विस यूनिवर्सिटी से फाइनेंस में ग्रेजुएशन की डिग्री ली है। वसुंधरा ओसवाल ग्रुप ग्लोबल के अम्ब्रेला वाले प्रो इंडस्ट्रीज की एग्जीक्यूटिव डायरेक्टर है। कंपनी के वेबसाइट के मुताबिक प्रो इंडस्ट्रीज अफ्रीका की प्रमुख अत्याधुनिक एथेनॉल प्रोडक्शन फर्म है, और खास बात यह है कि वसुंधरा ने अपनी ग्रेजुएशन के दौरान ही इसकी स्थापना की थी। अगर हम इस केस की टाइमलाइन की बात करें तो युगांडा पुलिस ने बीते साल 1 अक्टूबर को पंकज ओसवाल के कर्मचारी मुकेश मिनारिया की कथित हत्या के आरोप में वसुंधरा को गिरफ्तार किया था, जिसे बाद में तंजानिया में जीवित पाया गया, जिसके बाद 21 अक्टूबर को वसुंधरा को जमानत दे दी गई और केस को आनन फानन में रफा दफा कर दिया गया। ये कहानी आपके लिए लिखी थी साहिल राज ने। मैं आपके साथ उमेगा प्रसाद। देखते रहिए abplive.com।